So I would like first introduce our speakers today. Myself, I mentioned I'm the founder of Crayfish. I have been facilitating Western and China trade for the last 20 years, including tech transfer, export-import, investment links, and education, as well as in the financial sectors too. So Crayfish has a range of services which I will mention very soon. But in the meantime, I would like also introduce our second speaker, which is Jenny Chen. And Jenny has been a very senior HR facilitator and consultant with a lot of experience in China across over 10 cities. And also she traveled extensively in Europe. Her work experience is mainly with multinational companies, including Yum, Unilever, and many other leading brands. So she's a very practical HR consultant who understands the business needs from the Western perspective, but blended that with the understanding of the Chinese market. So she's going to talk us through the hiring practice in China. I just quickly mention what Crayfish does. We offer full service to help companies and organizations in interaction and doing partnership with China with a commercial angle. So we have an integrated solution from strategy to execution, and combining our in-house expertise with a global network of Chinese talent through our platform. And we have a marketplace, which you can see on crayfish.io, where you can post any projects you want, particularly if it's a small ad hoc and one-off. And then you can engage Chinese speakers directly who can work with you to get projects done. But if you have more complicated projects and you like some hand-holding or project management, we do have an enterprise service where we have an account manager who can help you. So from our experience, the collaborations with China mainly fall into four types. This can be trade with China, whether it's export and import, investment, M&A side, and this again is two ways. And as you know, China is no longer just a destination for export, but also for investment, inward investment, and where there's a lot of Chinese funds now setting up and looking for really good projects to invest in the UK. So that is something for many more British companies to consider. China, the evolving role to engage the Chinese partner. On technology transfer, if you're in that business, then again, this becomes more two-way. It's no longer just advanced technology transfer to China, but vice versa too. And finally, there's a lot of cultural exchange. Museums are opening up in China from Britain, as well as educational links. And this is happening a lot more now, particularly with China is exercising its soft power in the world too. So out of all these collaborations, we have developed actually a 4C model at Crayfish, where we identify there's 4 elements that's really most important to help such a cross-cultural collaboration successful. According to a latest research, I think it's from Deloitte, 90% of cross-cultural collaboration fail because of the communication, and that mainly relate a lot with, for example, context, where there's a cultural differences, a language difference between China and the West in doing businesses. The management styles is different, and it doesn't help the distance and time differences, and even more complicated in doing business in China. The laws and regulations keep changing, and interpretation of that varies at the local level as well. And in terms of the communication, the collaboration, it's really important to get the content right. And by content, we mean the strategy of the collaboration from both sides, whether that is clear to be shared and accurately translated, understood by each side. So the content is really important to be make sure that is understood at both sides. And then the channel is really to help that collaboration message get across. And this can involve internally through the stakeholders and on both sides of the team, but also externally to the wider sort of business community or the stakeholders as well. And that also include which channel you take to implement your strategy and your collaboration, whether, for example, in China, this could be government affiliated channels or it could be private channels, and how do you choose them and how do you balance them. Finally, last but not least, is we call connector, which really is about people and people who can facilitate the work, the collaboration, or the people who actually does the day-to-day work, whether it's translation or setting up your WeChat account or doing market research or quality control in China, visiting factories. All those are about people. And of course, to get those people in place, you need new organization structure. And whether this could be setting up in China in a Wolfie or reference office, or you use, a consultants model to use your partner's office in China. This is all around people. So that leads to our sessions. The main theme today is how do you find those people? How do you hire them to actually work for you? And so by that, I bring in Jenny, who's going to speak on this topic.
Hello, everyone. It's so happy and it's honored to be invited to this webinar. Thanks for Ting. I want to highlight a little bit about my background as HR in the multinational companies and including 2 years in Europe. Last year, I came back to China. Right now, I'm in Shanghai to share this information with. Today, I want to share 4 points from different elements. One is a channel. Second is about generation. I think right now, different kind of companies. And the second is the speed. And the third is the speed. And then the fourth is about the hukou. It's really a typical China topic. So let's move on one by one. We can raise our questions and then send question to Jiao, and then we will have a Q&A session later on. Okay, so if we talk about channel, let's move on to next page.
Jenny.
Yeah.
Yes, we are just having.
Yes,
okay,
there we go.
fine.
Sorry.
Right.
Okay, nice move. Yeah. Talk about channel, we need to start from the online because I need to say last year when I came back to China, although I know everybody using mobile, using their all different kind of applications, but last year when I come back to Shanghai, I see, oh my God, so many, everybody, almost every moment online. If you see them in a subway, on the street, in the restaurant, everybody hold their own mobile. And you also can see from this chart, from 2012 to 2016, although the number is not so updated by last year, but you can see the trend. The total China population who has internet already 731 million. Is a big amount. So everybody, every moment online. And then let's see what's relevant to the hiring. Then let's move on to next page to say why online. I think this is a really interesting information. Even for me, it's another really shocking and new experience as well. I don't know how many of you already experienced Double 11. In one day, 24 hours, Tmall already reached RMB 213 billion result in 24 hours. At the same time, leverage this Double 11 event. You can see Tmall delivery before the midnight, the already 1 billion delivery order. Another thing is Jingdong, I don't know whether you know it, is also a platform talk about electricity. They're really focused on electricity. They also reach 159 billion business. So no matter which platform, they all leverage Double 11 to compete. They want to gain some market share, get the best result. Even some companies, some people said, we need to really win this battle in that day. So, and also I heard there's a funny story that in order to fulfill China market, the Japan market, they even established a food company from June this year in order to fulfill the order from China, in order to fulfill the order from Double 11. So online and the digital is such tremendously change everybody's life and also change the way of behavior and also the way we searching the job. Okay, then let's talk about hiring a little bit. Yeah, let's move on next. Yes. So hiring channel. Originally, in 1998, 1997, we only have 3 channels, like you see in We Are Job, 51 Job, Jobing.com, and 58.com. This is only 3 dominant channels for internet. But starting from 2014, LinkedIn, and you can see even there's a logo, LinkedIn China, develop a dedicated application from 2015, only dedicated for China. And 2015, another interesting internet or the application developed dedicated for hiring, lieping.com, and also the boss.com. So this part, I'm talking about the channel for professional people, which means that people already have several years working experience. And LinkedIn is more dedicated for the people, for multinational company with a middle high level, because in LinkedIn, lots of people use English and some people use Chinese. That's another reason why LinkedIn China developed a dedicated application for China market. And the Lieping is another channel also dedicated for the experienced people, but their target level a little bit different. If I need to say the differentiation, LinkedIn is more multinational, and Lieping is more local and multinational, but more salespeople who don't have their enough English level. And We Are Job and the Jobing.com and the 58 is already old-fashioned, but still very strong because they have a lot of a database. So imagine if you want to hire some people. In China, you always put on the job information to the different channel. But bear in mind, because China is so big, besides this dominant big channel, we also have a local channel as well. So if you stay in Shanghai, Beijing, or Guangzhou, pay attention. There's some local channel also good to use to get more candidates. So this is an online channel for professional and experienced people. Let's see the next page to see what kind of a channel for fresh people. Yeah, because fresh student is always a good population to hire, and management trainee is by the multinational company years ago. And gradually, more and more companies want to hire young students. So there are so many dedicated fresh graduate channel like 应届生, like 大街.com, like lago.com. So you may notice that I put when they established. For example, 应届生.com is from 2005, and 大街 from 2008, and the lago from 2013. They, if we link together with the previous I mentioned about online digital topic, you can see recently years, so many digital online channel established. And no matter for different topic, but we all have a different channel for different topic, even for 应届生 and for graduate, for young graduate. 应届生 means a fresh graduate. And this channel also developed by the young fresh graduate. So you can see, if you want to hire different people, there are different channels. And you need to differentiate whom you want to target and how to deliver the right message in the right position. Okay, let's move on to next chart to see beside the channel, how about the offline? So beside the online channel, definitely we rely on headhunter a lot. If we talk about offline, for sure there's different channels as well, but today I only want to mention headhunting channel. If we talk headhunting, there's some information about 2017. Majority headhunter company located in the top 5 cities. They are Shanghai, Beijing, Shenzhen, Chengdu, and Guangzhou. But for sure, Shanghai and Beijing dominant, even for Shanghai. And together with China economic growth and the situation, you can see the industrial, the demanding of the hiring by industries also changed. The number one is related to IT and internet, because you see the online and the digital topic is so hot. And the second topic is financial, because so many companies want to go to IPO. And the third is real estate. You also know China, where are so many buildings, real estate market is so hot. Even we also question whether there's a bubble or not. But no matter how, this is the top 3 industries. They always have a high demand on candidates, on hiring. And then we talk about computing and also manufacturing. Manufacturing is always there, but from the top 1 now gradually move to the top 5. And then we talk about function. So after the industries impacted by the economic, the GDP growth and economic situation in China overall, for the top 5 functions with a high demanding, for sure relate to IT, technical, production, and then operation positions. This is about offline information, data information related to headhunting. Okay, let's move on. So beside the channel, there's another information I want to highlight today is about generation. The generation, I think generation Y and young generation is such a hot topic in the whole world. I'm sorry, I keep listening some noise in my earphone. I hope you don't have this bothering. So young generation, again, this is a big change as well. From 2017, there's some statistic information saying that 615,000 fresh graduates decide to start their own business. This has never happened 10 years ago, even 5 years ago. Again, when I came back to China last year, although I know Chinese will start to have their own business, start to want to have a dream to run their own business. But when I read the number, when I come back, I realized that is a big situation happened in China. The generation 90s, different versus generation 70s. They have more freedom. They are the pragmatic, pursuing the idealism. So they want, let's say, the only 50%, 52% want to apply the job, and 40% start their own business, and another 6% they join in the government. So this change, this talent market change, heavily impacted the way and how to attract people and how to attract the young talents. It's all the challenge for all kinds of companies. Then let's move on to say the young generation, where they go. So from another information, you can see, comparing to 20 years ago, when I joined my first multinational company, comparing at that moment, MNC, multinational, foreign company, all the Chinese, after they graduate, they really want to join the foreign company because there's a more promising career, very good development system, very good career opportunity. But comparing now, you can see from 2012 to 2016, the MNC, the people want to join the MNC, already dropped. But private company, more and more young people want to join the private company. So this is a big trend. Right now also is another challenge, and we are facing right now related to where young generation, where they go. Okay, after the young generation, let's talk about another interesting topic. Now let's move on to next page. Yeah, the complicated generation mix in one marketplace. This is a topic I think is not strange or new things for all of you, because no matter in which country we're all facing, we have 4 generations or even 5 generations together in one working place. But the point I want to share here is we need to understand our candidates' needs, because generation 60s, 70s versus generation 90 and 95, they are totally different. I'm generation 70s. Okay, we are young, we are early 70s. The 70s means at the moment we want to pursue, when we join the company, we want to fight for the career at that moment. Right now, we are coming to the age around 45 to 50. What we need is really different what generation 90s, what they want. Why so many young graduates want to start their own business? Because their family environment also different. Generation 95, even generation 2000, I think even will be different. So generation 95, they want to pursue their dream. They pursue the meaningful job. They want to enjoy the job. Take an example. I have two young people working for me as well in my consulting team. They all generation 90s. One is 91 and one is 95. What they want, we seriously discuss what they really want. They said we need to enjoy enjoy the work. We really need to learn in the everyday. But the salary is a later side, but they still need to fight for their life. So they don't want to working so hard and have so many OT, overtime working, like what we did in our young when we start to enter into the working place. I remember when I was 20, 22, when I joined my first job, I can work very crazy, but young generation now, they are different. So what's the implication to us as an employer? Which means when we hire the people in the market, we need to consider how to attract them in a different way, how to positioning and how to deliver the right message. What kind of company we are, what kind of working place we have, what kind of working environment we have, and what is the career development opportunity we will offer. So this is all relevant nowadays, I need to say the employer branding is more challenge than years ago because we really need to take care of so big different. And the generation 80 is really different as well because they are the generation in between, like a sandwich. Family because they need to take care of their family. They also need to take care of their one child. They are the generation with one child policy. So they need to work to live, and they need to pay their high real estate mortgage. And also, in China, the biggest, very high costing element is medical, education, and housing loan. So these three things for generation 80s, majority they need to bear by themselves. So generation 80s, they more asking for money. So this is a different. The more we need to understand the generation, the difference of a generation, we can make the hiring efficiency can be improved. Otherwise, you spend money, but you cannot get the right candidates. Especially for for startup company, lots of time I heard that we need people who has entrepreneurship. But come on, what is entrepreneurship? It's different generation versus generation. So I highlight a little bit on this generation difference. And then let's move on to next page to say, so let's move on. Another thing, the speed. The speed is another interesting thing because as a Chinese, we have a sense of urgency from years ago. Even you can see from Tang Dynasty, which means 1,000 years ago, the concept of time is precious, time is money, already published, already shared, and influenced generation and generations. So many years passed, Chinese people really care about time. So the speed is really important. The sense of urgency is really deep in our heart and deep in our DNA. And then we can move to next page to see China's speed. From another angle, China, the country, grows so fast in the past 40 years. We grow so fast, and we also proud, as a Chinese, we also proud the market position right now in the global market. How this make it? Why it can be happen? Because sense of urgency. What is the implication related to hiring? Which means sometimes because of this market, one good candidate can have a different offer on hand at the same time. If you not make the decision quickly, they can go to another offer. They can go to another employer easily. So sense of urgency and the speed is really important. When we talk about the foreign company want to hire people in the local market, you really need to cautious, make the decision quickly. And if you delay and delay, and also another real example I share with you, a foreign company, they want to hire R&D person in China market. They gave the 5 candidates, and then they delay the hiring, the interview, and make the progress very slow, have a 4 months. The consultant chasing everybody. At the end, the good candidate want to have already go to another company. So time is money. Sense of urgency is really important. And last but not least, the point is related to the 户口. Yeah, 户口 is really specific and special topic in China. Like ID, but not the same like ID. 户口 is talk about when I was born, where I located, and then I registered in their city. When I move to another city to apply the job, 户口 not move normally. So this point not so big right now, but sometimes people will ask whether your company can help me to move my 户口from my hometown to the big city. If you cannot, maybe we'll lose a good candidate. It can be happen. So this is a point I want to share with you today. Very short, but I hope all this information will be really interesting for you guys. And if you have a question, please share to Jill, and then I can answer later on. Thank you.
Hi everyone, it's Ting here again. We are checking if there's any questions coming through. We do have one question, which is Jenny. The question is how important it is the English level for recruiting Chinese staff. Is it one of the most important factors to consider, or is other skills more important than English?
Thank you, Ting. I need to say this highly depends on the company. Multinational company, if you need to talk with foreigner managers, you have to have English skill. But I need to say nowadays, comparing years ago, young graduates, the population who can speak good English much bigger than before. So it highly depends on the company whether you want the people who can speak English or not. But bear in mind, for sales department, if you want to hire a good salespeople, I'm not sure everybody can have the very good English level. So sales department will be a little bit challenged, but marketing definitely, lots of population, they have very good English. Yeah, I hope it's helpful. Thank you, Ting.
Thank you. That question was on behalf of attendee. There's another question coming. It says, any tips outside of salary to retain staff in China? There is often a reputation that they move job for small increases in salary. So basically, it's about retaining staff.
Okay, that is a hot topic always. I need to say, for sure, money is important, but money is not everything. There's one sentence shared by Jackie Ma. You know, Jack Ma is the owner for Alibaba. He said the reason why people leave the company, one is probably your pay is not fair, and second, probably their heart getting appointed to the company. So
Jenny, sorry, the line broke.
Later on.
Jenny, the line broke. Could you just repeat the last sentence?
I probably the pay is not so fair. We need to think about who are they. What happened to my?
Yes,
No?
the signal, but it was not very good. Sorry, I think the line from China, the signal wasn't good. So could you just repeat the question again? The answer again.
Yeah. I mentioned that there's a one information from Jack Ma. He, the owner of Alibaba. He said probably there are two major reasons why people leave the company. One is because people feel not fair related to their compensation, and the second, probably they feel disappointed to the company. So related to the retention, I need to say is a really challenging topic. You need to consider the way of managers' management style, their managerial maturity, and also think about which generation they are, what they really want. Money important, but doesn't mean money is everything. So different people have the different trigger. And we will have another session dedicated related to the retention, I remember, right, Ting?
Yes, we have the next session is about developing and motivating, particularly the younger generation. Then after that, we have a practical aspects of China in terms of contracts benefits. We have another question, but unfortunately, the technical error that just disappeared from the screen. Could the person who asked the question send it again? Sorry for that.
It's okay, Ting. At the same time, I can share more a little bit related to this retention topic. I need to say, no matter what kind of retention technical things, we need to starting from whether I really care my people, whether he or she is my high potential, high perform. Starting from there, and then we talk about retention.
Okay. Yeah, we have another question coming, Jenny. It says there are many suggestions on social media and in the general media that the Chinese government is becoming more politically hardline. Is this affecting the recruitment of people in China to work for international companies?
That is really interesting question. From my perspective, I don't think so. Still, international companies have a high reputation in China market because again, the branding, the professionalism, and the mature development system is, and also the opportunity to try different things is still very attracting for young talents and the Chinese talents. So even the governments do these kind of things, but I still think um, there's a attraction as an international company. But for sure, the competition to hire good talent is much difficult than before because the Chinese company is really popular right now, like Huawei, like Xiaomi, like Alibaba. So many people they proud to join in Chinese company. So this is another battle as an international company need to face.
Thank you, Jenny. So we will share some of the answers of the questions later to send it to everyone with the slides from today. And as everyone can see, Crayfish does offer full service, including, as you can see on the right side at the bottom, there's HR and admin support, which has got more a recruitment service. We can include that in our slides out. Oh, we have another question, final question. It says, we have encountered difficulties on hunting cross-field talents. We are in the accounting field. We're looking for accounting and sales skills, also accounting plus English copywriting skills. Trust this is a difficult issue many companies facing. Would you please give suggestions on best channels or solutions on cross-field talents hunting? Basically, it's not just one aspect of skills, accounting plus English copywriting. So it's multi-talented, multi-skilled talent. Could you give some suggestion on what is the best channel to do that?
This is a more specific question. May I ask later on we can have more detailed information related to the company information and the job requirement. But it's just an initial idea. If we want to hire talent with very good English, very good accounting skill, and also other skill, probably you need to consider consultant, the headhunting company. But you need to be very careful to choose headhunters. As I mentioned, in Shanghai, we have so many headhunting company, but normally the good consultant, not so many. So highly depends on the quality of the consultant who pay attention, fully understand your needs, and then try to find the right candidates. So if you want to have more information, more discussion on this one, I suggest we have a later session. Ting, maybe you can help to understand the company needs and the job needs, and then I can have more clear idea to give. Okay.
Thank you, Jenny. In fact, to conclude, Crayfish, our operating model is to understand the client's needs and to match that needs with the right people, the right facilitator, or the right consultant to provide that service. So therefore, we have tailored as well as packaged HR and recruitment services available. So you're welcome to have a look on our website on the recruitment page, but we'll also send you along the slides some information. Thank you everyone for attending this today. As I mentioned, we have upcoming session in which is in about 2 weeks' time. on the 6th of December, we have a particular session for managing, developing younger generation. Then in January, we have a session about practical aspect of China HR contracts. Of course, in the meantime, if you do have any queries or any specific requirements of such service, do get in touch with to us as well. Okay, so thank you very much, and we will close the webinar for now, and we look forward to hearing from you soon. Thank you very much. Thank you, Jenny, again.